Pleasant good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, more appropriately. So, my name is Wendell Rankin, and as usual, I made a promise that we would do a live today focus on the development of cancer and how we can mitigate the development of cancer. Let me properly introduce myself. So, my name is Wendell Rankin. I am the co-founder of a company by the name of Deleen's Wellness, where we share information on health, fitness, nutrition, and the whole 9 yards. Been doing this now for almost 20 years, right? July this year would have made it 19 years in the field of wellness. And we see clients on a daily basis. Someone says your greatest teacher is experience. The level of experience we've gone over the last 90 years is remarkable. The experiences that we have had have taught us so much. And we have created an online platform on Deleen's Wellness, where we share our information as it relates to our experience in the field of wellness and how we've been able to assist persons to understand the functionality of the physical anatomy and how to better cope with their bodies. Understanding that as human beings, we are three-dimensional. We are spirit, which is the breath of God. We are soul, which is our mind and our emotion, and we are the physical body, which is this. Now, what we find happening is that because persons don't understand their bodies, they do not understand how to treat with their bodies. And so for the last couple of years, we've been doing these lives, putting them out so that persons can better understand and appreciate what's happening. Now watch this. We've done lives to talk about health and nutrition on a whole. We've done lives to talk about how to mitigate the 5 major diseases. In the last 3 months or so, the number of clients we have had dealing with cancer and malignant diseases have loaned itself to us making a decision to talk about cancer in a way that persons can understand how the body functions and how it is they're able to mitigate these things. Unfortunately, there are some of our friends who have had cancer, and based on our experience again and what we see in this space, if these examples that we will give are taken on holistically. Now, when I say holistic, I want to break that down. Cancer is not a common cold. It's not a flu. Right? So, it's not, how we, human beings are very interesting. So, we have an illness and we do some stuff, whether it is from the medical field or if it is homemade remedies to remedy the situation. But as soon as the symptoms disappear, we assume that we are okay. So we stop. And guess what happens? Invariably, things come back. So I don't want us to consider cancer to be like that. Right? There are some things that we have to do continually for the rest of our lives if it is that we're going to mitigate cancer if you have it, and if you don't have it, you don't want it. Right? So we want to have that conversation today. Now, I might as well tell you that this may have to be done in 2 parts, because when you talk about malignant diseases, when you talk about mutation of the cells, it is too wide and varied. Today we want to look on the promulgation and the perpetuation of breast cancer. We want to look on prostate cancer. we want to look at colon cancer. All right? Now, the driving cancer in men, especially men of color, is prostatitis and prostate cancer. Second to that, I think, is throat cancer, right? The driving cancer in women is ovarian cancer. Second to that, I think, is breast cancer. So, and of course, colon cancer is running right up there for females as well. So I think it's only fair if we focus on those. Let's see how well we can do for the next 20 or so minutes. And then we'll wrap it up and do a part 2 if necessary. All right? Before we start, right, I want to bring to our attention something that most persons would never think of. And it is something that we've been studying for a mighty long time. And I think it is important for us to know this. 19 years ago when I started wellness, there was a Nobel-winning economist. His name is Paul Zane Pilzer. And he brought to our attention something that I think people took for granted. One of the things that he said was that the business of wellness is the next big thing. At the time, the world's economy was 40 trillion. USA accounted for a quarter of that economy, 10 trillion. And this was in 2003, and he says, over the next 10 years, we would see the economy of the world moving from 40 trillion to 41 trillion. Guess what, guys? 19 years on, that figure have more than doubled. So we're talking about mitigating diseases, we're talking about lifestyle, but we want to approach it at the root of it. It's all an economic game. Think about what I'm going to say. So the world's economy is 93 trillion. A trillion is 1,000 billion. So 1,000 billion multiplied by 93, that's the size of the world's economy currently. America accounts for about 23 trillion of the 93 trillion. That's a quarter. The United States alone is a quarter of the world's economy. So if I'm going to have a conversation, it is only fair that if I focus on what's happening in the States, everybody will get a picture of the picture I'm painting, right? Or a clearer understanding of the picture I'm painting. So America's economy is 23 trillion. And you will appreciate, listen to this, that the medical field alone, medical insurance, drugs, treatments, procedures, accounts for about 1/3 of that economy. Think about it. Think about that for 2 minutes. 23 trillion and almost 7 trillion, 7,000 billion is the medical field. Now, having said that, this is what I'll say next. The leading disease right now in the world is heart disease. Cardiovascular and heart disease. The second to that is cancer. All sorts of cancer. Then it begs the question. We often ask, what are the governments of the world doing about the diseases that permeate the space? Why should the government do anything about it, if you think about it? It's part of the economy. It's part of how people live their lives. Nothing bad. They're not evil. It's just the way it is. So, forget it, guys. There's no cure coming for cancer anytime soon. The cure is in our bodies and us understanding the importance of treating our bodies in a way that our bodies can heal itself and bring about the kind of health, quality health that we're looking, all right, we're seeking to achieve. So we want to talk primarily about cancer. What is cancer? Cancer essentially, without getting too technical, cancer essentially are really malignant cells that go about to affect other cells. What are malignant cells? Malignant cells, all right, let me break it down this way. Think about a bag of tomatoes, and And in the bag of tomatoes, we have one spoiled tomato that is placed in the bag, and the bag is tied. What's going to happen to the rest of the tomatoes? You all know the story, right? They are going to get spoiled themselves. So consider the bad tomato to be a free radical. Free radical is the root cause of cancer. It's a cell that goes bad primarily because of stress. If that cell is not removed from the body on a timely basis, it goes about and affects other cells. And the cells being affected starts mutating. It can mutate to the point where it becomes a malignant cell. Hence, you want to understand that the cell in and of itself needs certain nutrients, needs to be treated a certain way, such that the cell can live and reproduce healthy cells of its kind. And when we talk about stress, most persons don't understand what stress is, right? So we want to put it this way. Stress are the things that occur. Stressor are the things that occur. So we talk about the light bill, the water rate, all those things. They're really stressors. Stress is our reaction to the stressor. And most persons do not treat with stress, the stressors well. Hence, what persons don't understand is that alongside our lifestyle, alongside the things that we have to deal with on a daily basis, communication, family, expenses, bills, just life on a whole, even this pandemic, persons have become so stressed out about it, not understanding, not getting the requisite answers in a timely basis, and that stress the cells. Now, we've been talking about that for a long time, and persons don't understand. We want to break it down that people can understand the impact of stress on the body. It's extremely important that people understand that the biggest deterrent to a healthy body is stress. And stress is our response to stressors. A thing like cancer starts really with how we deal with stress. We cannot, but here's a play on word, we cannot overstress that. Right? So, first thing, we're talking to individuals who are dealing with cancer. And the first thing we talk about is what are the stresses. We will go through a complete interview to ascertain from the individual what are the stresses. What's your lifestyle like? Because inside of the situation, most of the times, there are conditions of life that have people stressed. Some persons are not even aware of it. We have to bring them present to the impact of the things that they are dealing with. Hair starts falling out, discoloration of the skin, the mouth odor changes, the body is breaking down. And imagine that persons will go to the doctor, and the doctors are not, I know I have nothing against the doctors. The doctors are trained to understand how certain diseases operate and to make a connection between the use of a medication to mitigate the symptom. Let me give you an example. So you have a cold and you go to the doctor. The doctor is going to ascertain how long you have this cold. Okay, great. Now I'm going to give you some cough medicine, I'm going to give you some cold medicine, that sort of a thing, right? What causes a cold? the cause of a cold is a low or a weakened immune system. Get that? What causes a weakened immune system? Stress, lack of sleep, lack of water, lack of eating proper vitamins, right? So in addition, and I'm not saying because medicine has its place, in addition to taking the medication, right, a holistic doctor would say to you, ensure you're having your vitamins, ensure you sign off at a particular time, get into bed, get your rest, rehydrate, eat on time. You get that? Because what you really want to do to mitigate the cold in your body is to increase your immunity such that you can suppress stress. Understood? Now, most doctors are not about that because that's not the training. The training is to understand the symptom and to make a diagnosis of a medication, prescribe a medication to help with the symptom. Cold is not a problem. Cold is the symptom of a problem. The problem is a weakened immune system. Everybody get that? Now, we have the same approach. So when somebody comes to us to talk about, I'm dealing with, like the example I gave, talking to a client, right? We sip a little water. This is the latest situation. We're talking to a client. She has had stage 1 colon cancer. She's almost 300 pounds. She has spent $2.5 million already to do procedures, radiation and stuff. And the cancer has moved now from stage 1 to stage 3. Doctors are now recommending that she does more procedures to the tune of about $3 million. She's broken, she's bewildered. Something like that is really very heavy. We're talking to her, and the first question we ask her is, did you know, listen to this, ladies, it's for you. Did you know, this is science now, what I'm saying is science. So I'll tell you when I'm speaking scientifically, and I'll also show you when I'm speaking from my point of view based on my experience. Did you know, women, that if your waist exceeds 30 inches, you're 500% at risk for the 5 major killers: heart disease, cancer, stroke, sugar pressure. 500%. But if your waist touch 35 inches, it is going to happen. As a man, if your waist exceeds 35 inches, you're 500% at risk. 500%. But if your waist touch 40 inches, it is going to happen. One or a combination of any of the 5. Number 1, heart disease, cancer, stroke, sugar pressure. So I said to her, your waist is over 50 inches. You're almost 300 pounds. We understand the cancer. But at no point in time, in 3 years of being treated medically, has anybody said to her, let's get you passing feces, let's get you losing the weight. Nobody says that. The cancer is not the problem. The cancer is a symptom of poor nutrition and overweight and stress. She's a corporate person dealing with the stress of the corporate office. Let me tell you something, guys. If you're working in a corporate environment, don't take home the problems of work home. Don't do it. When you leave work at work. Home is a place of haven where you rest, you enjoy family, you recover to take on work again. I am telling you this, I've spent 15 years in corporate. I've lost a lot of friends to malignant diseases like cancer of the breast and cancer of the ovaries and cancer of the brain. Because they finish work and they take home work at home to do work at home, and the family is neglected and they don't understand the peeling out of the hair, the loss of energy, the lethargy is actually the body breaking down because of stress. Don't do it. Leave work at work. When you go home, do home. Everybody get that? That's the first thing. So we said to the woman, let's have you lose weight. Let's have you pass your feces. I'm going to talk about that. And in just being able to achieve that in 18 days, she started doing things that she couldn't do for the last 3 years. Energy hitting the body, the cells are healing. The healing, guys, is not in any procedure that you and I can adapt. The healing is in the body. It's in the Word of God. The Bible says, 3 John verse 2, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. That's given. What's happening? We're not prospering because we have neglected to follow the pattern of the Word of God, and we have neglected our bodies, running our bodies to a wreck. So let's talk a little bit more specific about the different cancers. So one of the cancers that we see occurring is breast cancer. Women, do your regular checkups. Do your regular checkups. And I want to say, if you're over 40, it is even more important that you go and get your breasts, check your mammogram, go and do it, because if there's a lump and it is caught early, it can save your life. All right? And there are particular ways to eat to ensure. One of the things that we pay attention to, guys, is ensuring that we have an alkaline diet. Now, with the procedure that we've been using for the last 8 years, the quantum magnetic analyzer, we have noticed something. We have noticed that in women, there is a consistency of acute to chronic mastitis. What is mastitis? Mastitis is usually cracking of the nipples. It happens based on, one, the foods you eat, based on, two, the level of stress that attacks your body, three, based on hydration, four, based on personal hygiene. So this is gross, but I gotta say, you've got to look at how you take care of yourself. Bathing one's skin is bathing off dead cells such that the new skin cells can come alive. There are some persons who don't like to bathe. You're at risk for breast cancer, simple like that. Right? And how you bathe yourself, you soap your neck, you soap your armpits. That carries more breakdown bacteria than the rest of your body, because it is sweating, and you take that and rub over the breast. You see that? Cracking of the nipples, mastitis. So one of the things that we encourage women to do is to get a bottle of olive oil, and at nights, just gently hold the nipples and put on the olive oil. It soothes the nipples such that the cracks can heal. We also recommend, and at the end of the program I'll talk a little bit more about this, we also recommend that we eat a particular way that the cells in the breast can heal faster. Alright? Let's move to ovarian cancer. Ovarian cancer in women is one of the leading cancers. Right? And women, we just got to say it because we're dealing with women, and we do the interviews and we get the history so we can share it. Having a faithful sexual partner is still in business. They run up and down a street now, cut it. Girls, listen to Mr. Rankin talk. Having different sexual partners and having sexual intercourse with varying partners can cause abrasions high into the vagina that causes bleeding. By the way, if you see that, you need to rush to your doctor right away. If you're having sex and bleeding, you need to rush to your doctor right away. Those abrasions can lead to ulcers if they're not treated properly, and ovarian cancer. Right? Also, there are some women who start having kids too early or predisposed to ovarian cancer. All different things. The only thing I can tell you is that cancer generally is about malignancy of cells, and so there are certain ways that you can treat your body, I'll tell you at the end of the broadcast, to mitigate those things. Want to talk about, for the men now, want to talk about prostatitis. Prostatitis and prostate cancer is the leading cancer in men of color, and in particular our Jamaican men. Now, if that doesn't ring a bell, I don't know what will ring a bell, right? And for years we've been trying to study this, and we have not gotten a grip, right? One thing we can say is we have seen a correlation with, like, for instance, the consumption of alcohol and smoking, with how the liver, the cells in the liver mutate, and how the cells in the stomach mutate. So you want to limit your consumption of alcohol, you want to limit smoking. for persons who are around persons who smoke, we call that secondhand smoking. There are some theories in science and medicine that will prove that secondhand smoking is even more dangerous than smoking itself. And when we do the scans, we see electromagnetic radiation and we see tobacco high in the readings of some persons scan who don't smoke at all, who've never smoked in their lives. But we look at their environment where they live, who they hang out with, who they work with. My co-worker smoke always around me like that. Be aware of your surroundings, guys, because it's important. All right? So, but for some persons, I'm talking to a man yesterday, and I asked him about his understanding of the prostate, and it was like a fairy tale. So very quickly, I want to say what the prostate is. The prostate gland is responsible for the creation of semen. Semen is not sperm. That's a different setup. Sperm is created by the testes and stored in the scrotum sac. The scrotum sac is what we colloquially call the bag. The testes is what we colloquially call the balls. So the testes, aka the balls, make the sperm, and the scrotum sac, aka the bag, is where the sperm is stored. God set it up like that because the temperature of the body is too warm, it will kill the sperm. That's why the sperm has to be stored outside the body. When a man has an ejaculation, the sperm come out of the bag, come over into the penis and flows down the tract and exit the head of the penis. That is very simple. Now, the sperm is extremely delicate. Sometime between the bag and the exit from the penis into the vagina, the sperms will die. That's why we say a man needs to ejaculate about 20 million sperm to create impregnation. Get that? Because 19,999,999 die. Is one sperm can fertilize the egg. Believe that? But for the one, you need an army of sperm to get the one fertilized. In addition to the army of sperm, there are bodyguards for the sperm. It's called semen. So while the testes in the bag is creating the sperm, the prostatic gland makes semen. If you don't understand what it is, sperm is the thick, mucus-looking thing. When a man ejaculates, semen is more watery. The colloquial word for semen is the good water. When a man is aroused, what you see at the head of the penis is semen. Sometimes the semen have sperm cell, but it's not sperm. Here's what's important about that. So when a man is ejaculating, the semen protects the sperm. It walks with the sperm to protect the sperm like a bodyguard. So think in terms of the sperm as a technocrat, like a prime minister, and think in terms of the semen like his bodyguard. One can't work without the other. You never ever see a prime minister out on the street talking to people without a bodyguard around him, because you know the thing said, right? Without the semen, it's very painful to have sex. Without the semen, impregnation is more difficult because the sperms will die along the way. Bacteria in the walls of the vagina will kill the sperm. Anybody get that? So you want to protect your prostatic gland. And for some women who are over 40 going through that changing cycle, sometimes they experience dryness. So the man have to have semen to lubricate the sexual process. Am I making sense, guys? Yes or no? So sex without semen, painful. If you have prostate cancer and the doctor have to cut out the prostate gland, no good water, no dead. It's sex, sperm, ejaculation. Painful for you, painful for the woman. You want to keep your prostate as long as you can. Everybody get that? One of the things that we see on the increase is prostate cancer. So everything that we will do to alleviate cancer on a whole, we're doing to alleviate prostatic cancer as well. And men, I'm saying it to you too. We need to be responsible about our sexuality. The bugger girl thing, stop it. It's not working. And why am I saying this? Because so many researches are being done and for years. And we cannot pinpoint exactly what causes prostate cancer. But we know that Jamaican men have the highest rate of prostate cancer per capita than any other men in the world. Highest rate. And most of Jamaican men are girlies. So because we're not sure, we have to look on everything. That makes sense or what? That's a divine revelation. Now ease up the thing, man. And take care of mums. This one is hard. This one is hard. This one is hard. Men, you got to take care of yourself. All right. My favorite now, colon cancer. I'm going to close off with this one. I'm telling you that the lady is going to the doctor for 2.5 years. And not one time as a doctor said to her, you got to pass your stool. You got to lose the weight. That, I'm a frost. Or I'm talking to people over the world. That has me concerned. The gateway to colon cancer is constipation. Everybody get that? The gateway to colon cancer is constipation. So if you are constipated, guys, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have problems with the colon. I want to spend 2 minutes and break it down for Uno. 2 minutes and break it down for Uno. 2 minutes and break it down for you guys. My light from my apparatus just went. Alright? Listen to this. I want to say it so that you can understand. Most people in Jamaica are constipated. Most people are constipated. What is constipation? Constipation is hard, dry stool in the colon that is difficult to pass. By the way, I want to break that down further. If for any reason a day has passed and you have not defecated 2 or 3 times, cake or snake, you're constipated. I'll say it again. If for any reason a day has passed and you have not defecated, cake or snake, 2 or 3 times, you're constipated. Any other definition that you have for constipation, rub it out and throw it away. I just gave you the meaning of constipation. Cake or snake, 2 to 3 times, even if you're on fasting. So let me hurry up, because we're in it now for about 32 minutes, right? So one of the reasons that we see persons are not able to pass their stool is because we consume too much starchy foods. I would even dare to say that I was talking to a lady once and I said to her, have you ever been to a 4 or 5 star restaurant or a hotel? I said to her, go treat yourself at a hotel or a 5-star restaurant. Ask for a 4 or 5 course meal. Look at how they feed you, make a note of it, go home and do the same thing. Because we seem to think that the people not feeding us at the hotel or the high-end restaurant, because they mean we're not recognizing that the way we feed ourselves was the way we were, our foreparents were fed on the plantation as slaves. Listen to me, people. I am offending some people right now. Some people are wishing that I would turn off this live and stop talking. The dumpling is a slave mechanism. The bag of yam is a slave mechanism. The 1 plate of white rice is a slave mechanism. It's not normal. We have to be fed those ways because we would work in the sun all day. People would fall down on the plantation. So in order to keep them energized for the whole day, they have to feed them a whole heap of carbohydrate. Slavery is abolished. Call a neighbor after this and say, hello, did you know that slavery is abolished? We need to stop eating like slaves. 1 to 2 palm of food is what you need at any given time. Did you know that? Yes! 1 to 2 palm of food is what you need. Most people who go to a hotel and are fed, them hungry when them done. You know why? Cause them stomach stretch out. This for other parts of the world. Their stomach is extended. Your granny would say your ma stretch out. All this dumpling and flour and rice. And then you have the big bang belly. You can't go. You're dying. Guys, stop it. Stop. For my own experience, every time I pass my stool, I'm going to say this. It's gross, but I'm going to say it. Every time I pass my stool, I take a picture. I was doing a consultation last week with a lady, and when I said to her, your stool size is too small, she took me on in the office, and I said, you shouldn't do it. And I brought up a stool on my phone. We almost had to have a primate. The woman almost passed out. She couldn't believe. And I said, I do this 2 or 3 times a day. That's why I know you are dying. And her belly is sitting in her lap. Can't do that, guys. The root cause of colon cancer is constipation. Now, if days pass, 2-3 days, and you haven't gone to do number 2, I can tell you of a surety that you are developing colon cancer. It's just a matter of time. If days pass, you have not passed your stool, and as a woman, your waist is over 35 inches, and a man, your waist is over 40 inches, you have cancer. Just waiting to exhale. Take it from me, I'm giving it to you for free. The 1 bag of starch not working out. White rice has no value. Hello? White rice has no value. If you are a rice ambassador, because I get to understand that some persons in nature before they were born, somewhere on the other side, was given a folder sent to earth to be a rice ambassador, because they can't do without rice. My suggestion is that you have black rice, you have wild rice, or you have brown rice. If you have to eat it, white rice, they have torn away the protein and the wheat germ from the rice. So all you're getting is just that white sticky substance that sits in the colon and does nothing for you. Nothing! Swell up your colon. I'm telling you guys, I am telling you. When I did the last live that was done was October. I was a single man. I am now married. And when I pass my stool, I call my wife and say, come and look at this. She's afraid. Literally. I'm saying this thing, because I want people to understand. The thing long, long like me. Let me show it this way, because, yeah, long like that. 2 to 3 times a day, every day. That's how I know you out there. Dying. Sonally would say, Wendell, stop killing all the people then. Cake or snake, or you're dying. And I don't eat rice. And I don't drink soda. I don't drink evaporated milk. I don't drink cow's milk. I don't drink condensed milk. Those things are killers. That's my stool here. Vegetable, corn. I will eat 3 pieces of ground provision that's grown above the soil. I'll tell you a little bit about that another time. Cake or snake. Cake or snake, 2 to 3 times a day. 2 to 3 times a day, cake or snake or cancer. I'm going to make a song, 2 to 3 times a day, cake or snake or cancer. I'm going to make a tune. Because you need to understand the seriousness of it. And then, what do you think the doctor's going to do? The doctor tell the lady, $2.4 million, 7 weeks of treatment. Chemotherapy and radiation. She moved from stage 1 to stage 3. And them now I said to her, spend another $3 million because we get something out of Cuba. It probably can't help you. Ladies, bewildered. Stop it, guys. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up now, right? Because we have a part 2 to this. The first thing I want you to understand, guys, is we got to treat ourselves from the core, which is our mind. If you have cancer or if you don't want to get cancer, I'm going to start with the mind. The first thing you want to do is to rid yourself of anger. Because a negative emotion generates atoms, that forms into cysts and it debilitates the body. Anybody get that? Yeah. So if you have people in your life that wrong you, and you need to call them and have a conversation, do it. Not for them guys, but for you. Because if it eats away your brain power such that you can't get along with your life, what's going to happen is that you sit in solitude and die from inside. Once cysts and tumors start develop inside because of that anger, that unforgiveness, that heaviness in the heart, you're on your way out. So when I sit with somebody who has a condition, whether it be cancer, I just don't go about giving them stuff. I have to find the root cause of what's causing the stress. Most of the times, it's heaviness in the heart due to lack of communication and unforgiveness. I sort that out. If you need to go to therapy and get therapy, somebody professional to help you through that, do it. It's going to save your life. Now, having said that, I also want to encourage us to do meditation. Right? Most persons come home from work after a hard day, they sit in the settee, they watch the television, they eat a little food, they drop asleep watching a movie and crawl into bed. Look here. Stop it. That is putting too much stress on the physical anatomy. Everybody get that? You want to come home, enjoy the family. God has given us family for a reason. Enjoy, take time out to talk with the family. How was your day? How was your day? Know what I mean? Enjoy relationship. Guys, let me tell you something. I don't care how much money you have. When you're on your deathbed, it's not about bank account and credit union and investments and cryptocurrency and none of that crap. You want the people them who mean the most you around your bedside and hold your hand as you transfer from this life over into the unknown. Because nobody never ever go over there and come back, come tell you how it go. So it's an unknown. So you're even scared. There's a scripture in the Bible in Luke chapter 6 where the Bible talks about the rich man and Lazarus. And the Bible says, that's why I know that there is a life after death. The Bible says, in hell, the rich man died, he lifted up his eyes and saw Lazarus in the place of peace and tranquility. And he said, Father Abraham, make Lazarus come dip him finger in the water, come cool my tongue. And Father Abraham said, no, he can't do that because one line draw. We can't come with you there, you can't come over there. But the Bible speaks of the place of torment. Everybody get that? A great gulf fixed. So nobody, I'm telling you guys. So you want to nurture what is going to nurture you. You don't pay people mind and treat people bad and don't talk to people and be by yourself and all these things. And when you're sick now, you want everybody to run to your rescue and it now gonna work. Cut it out. Nurture now your inner circle, that your inner circle can nurture you. And you live longer and happier. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I see in the comments, you know, and I'm resisting the temptation to talk about the comments because in this closing part now, I generally cover the comments. All right. So we have what we refer to as an 8 steps plan to good health. I'm going to give you the 8 steps. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about each step, and I'm going to close with the main step, nutrition. Step 1, fruits. How many fruits should I have? We say eat 3 fruits a day. Do it on an empty stomach. Do it before you eat your meal. So I like to eat everything. I eat an orange, a peel orange, and I'm going to eat everything. I'm going to eat the orange. I'm going to eat the pulp of the orange. Because my colon cannot digest the pulp. It is used as fiber to push the stool through the colon. That's why my stool long so. People peel mango. Why you peeling mango? Wash the mango and eat everything and throw away the seed. Because the skin of the mango is fiber that your colon cannot absorb into the cells. But it is used as a broom to push the stool through the colon to the rectum. Everybody get that? The process is called peristalsis. 3 fruits a day on an empty stomach. Vegetables, I like to do vegetable juices. So I will do kale, spinach, celery. I like the celery because the celery cleans the liver. And I like the parsley because the parsley helps to clean the liver and the kidney. Men, we do not suggest that you do more than 4 greens at any one time because the greens have a high degree of iron. And especially like me, if you're taking vitamins, I take 2 Herbalife vitamins 3 times a day. So for the day, I take 6 vitamins. That's a lot of vitamin. But I have an escape because I drink 5 to 6 liters of water a day. So my body takes out what it wants and the rest is passed through the system. So we say 4 greens. Of course, you can put your carrot with a beta carotene. You can put your tomato. Some persons have arthritic pain, so because sometimes there is some amount of research that have gone into how tomato may impact things like rheumatoid arthritis. So if you are a person who's dealing with rheumatism, then you want to measure the amount of tomato you use, right? But guys, you need to understand and appreciate that the most potent foods on the planet are green leafy vegetables. Write it down. For those of you who feel like you have to drink milk and you have to eat cheese, cut it out. The same calcium that you are looking for in milk and in cheese, you can get it from green leafy vegetables without yeast. Alright? Water. How much water should I drink? We like to say half your body weight in fluid ounces. Right? I know people tell me that, every time I do a lecture, people say, what kind of water must we drink? Alkaline water? Is it water that is taken from the rocks like spring water? Is it reverse osmosis? Is it... Look here now, man. Just stop it, man. If you put down the water from the pipe for 2 days to stale, you can take it up and drink it. Just like that. Just make sure you're drinking some water. Right? We don't want the water from the pipe directly because the chlorine, if you boil the water in the kettle and see the residue that is left in the kettle, understand that that takes place in your body. That creates gallstones and kidney stones. So we say, drink purified water, drink pure water, drink reverse osmosis water, just drink some form of water outside of pipe water. And ensure that you're doing, if you're not sure about the amounts of water you must drink, we say 3 liters. 3 liters of water, right? If you're exercising like me 3 or 4 times a week, then you want to go at least a gallon of water a day. And I'm telling you this, if you're doing what I am saying to you, you will not be constipated. Alright? Rest. Rest is the only way old cells die and new ones are formed. So with rest we say, get into bed before 12 midnight. Because 1 hour before 12 midnight accounts for 1.5 to 2 hours afterwards. So a good time to get into bed, and I'm preaching to myself too. Get into bed between 9 and 10. And somewhere between 4 and 5 o'clock when you wake up, you'd have had enough rest you can take on your day. Rest is the only way old cells die and new ones are formed. Rest is the only way old cells die, new ones are formed. If you're not resting, you're going to be having memory issues. We're seeing that in the scans that we do as well. Alright? Exercise. 20 minutes to half an hour, 3 times a week. Before I did this live, I live on a hill and I ran about 400 meters a while ago. All the way up the hill. I mean, the entire stretch of running is about 50 feet from the gate to the top of the hill. I was winded. I mean, I took a 2-week break. I went start at the gym Monday gone. But generally, when I can run a mile in like 9 minutes, And I take a 2-week break, guys, and I could barely do 11 minutes last week, Thursday. I mean Thursday this week. It's really crazy. So, the body is very ungrateful. So you want to keep at it. Alright? And we like to say ensure that you're putting your cardiovascular and you put in your strength training, because the cardiovascular help with the circulatory system, right? Like running, jogging, aerobics, walking, but restraint training, resistance training, and weights training help with building muscles, and you want both. All right. Detoxification, I talk about the feces, I talk about the pus and the urine. If you're doing all these things, you'll detox your body. All right. Stress management, we talked about that earlier. Enjoy the family, read a book, listen to personal development tapes, turn off the news. News does nothing for you. News changes your alkalinity to acidity because of the negativity, and the same thing that hate and unforgiveness does to your emotion and your frequency is what news does to you. You won't know it until the body begins to break down. Stop it. Right? Now I come to number 8, nutrition. We have been practicing this system called cellular nutrition for the last 19 years. And it's proven to be the boss. Without demonstrating any canisters or anything, I'm just going to speak to it. If you want to have a consultation with us, give us a call. There are 3 numbers I'll put up. Number 1 is 876-336-9052. 876-336-9052. They say on our previous live we said the numbers too fast. So let me slow it down. 876-336-9052. Number 2, 876-342-0935. Let me repeat that. 876-342-0935. That's my wife's number. The favorite girl in the world. And number 3, 876-430-6670. 876-430-6670. 876-430-6670. We have had persons flown in from as far as Britain to come and do a body scan to see what happens. This equipment that we've been talking about, it has a 89 to 95% accuracy. It shows us all 78 organs in the body, and it gives us an outlay of the functionality of the organs. Inside of that outlay, we can analyze the data and help you build a program to give your life the best of the best in the 8 steps that we talk about. Finally, cellular nutrition is what we've been using for the last 19 years. I give God thanks for that concept. My blood pressure is 110/70 and it doesn't move. I have to give God thanks. I am less than a month from 50 and I feel like a 35-year-old boy. I'm telling you, I work out in the gym with the guys. Guys, I'm not going to tell them weight. But beast mode. That's what we are introducing people to, right? Our Formula 1 shake is the best. Do you understand? I don't want to go over. Let me wrap it up. Do you understand why we use our Formula 1 shake, guys? Most people don't understand. Let me break it down for you. We promulgate the eating of plant protein over animal protein, because animal protein have too many toxicity based on what the animal is fed. So we promote plant protein over animal protein. We promote protein because it is the most predominant macronutrient that the body needs. And listen to what I'm saying. The most predominant macronutrient that the body needs is protein. Why protein? Why protein? Because in protein there are something called amino acids. Google it. 9 essential amino acids: lysine, tryptophan, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, theanine. 9 of them. The absence of these things is why the cells break down and we look older than our age. You want something that is going to give your body all 9 amino acids. The most predominant plant protein that has all 9 amino acids is soy. There is sufficient evidence to prove to There's sufficient evidence to nullify the crap that people in the space talk about. Soy make you grow breast and all this thing. Men, it's crap. I'm telling you. Anybody tell you that? Debunk it. It's crap. I've been taking Herbalife Formula 1 shake, 2 shakes every day for 19 years. And at 50, next time I do a live, I'm going to make my wife come and talk about the 50-year-old boss. I'll leave it at that for now. And I'm not normal around here. So let me tell you something, guys. If you want energy, muscle, and vitality, and vim and vigor, you have to drink up them Formula 1. Me not ask you, tell you that. The Formula 2 is the multivitamin. Right? Vitamin A, C, E, D, and K, which is stored in the liver. It's not water soluble. The body pulls on it when it wants it. And we have the array of vitamin B's in our multivitamin. Thiamine B1, riboflavin B2, niacin B3, pantothenic acid B5, pyridoxine B6, biotin B7, folic acid B9, copamolin B12, mud. And then you have the extracts of beet, cauliflower, garlic, spinach, broccoli, carrot. You can't get it better than that. Them say take 1-3 times a day, I take 2. It's crazy. Energy to the roof. If you're in the States, England, you have the cell activator, which is pycnogenol and cayenne pepper, guys, with shiitake and pomegranate, help to cause the cell to absorb more of the nutrients in it, such that we can get more from the foods that we eat. We have things like our aloe that is grown in the hills of Mexico. The aloe and the Herbalife line are 2 things that I love. Here's why. Most fish oils are taken from dead fishes. Get that? Dead fishes from the ocean. Fishes die and they extract the fish oil, bottle it and sell it. We don't bother with that. Our fish oil is taken from the Pacific Ocean. Why? Because it's deep sea fish oil. It's a richer form of omega-3. And then now, we triple distill it over liquid charcoal. Why liquid charcoal? Because charcoal is a toxic removing agent. I showed a picture recently of using charcoal to brush my teeth. People, it creates a stir. I buy a little bottle of charcoal. It's about $500, $600. Charcoal, the same coal we eat chicken pan. Them shred it to powder and sell it. You put it on your toothbrush and brush your teeth. The teeth white and pretty. Take away all kind of things, contaminants. Because charcoal is a toxic removing agent. Herbalife has found a way to mix the charcoal with alkaline water, make an alkaline soup, and run the fish oil and the aloe over it to suck out the toxicity. So when you have our aloe and our fish oil, our omega-3 and our aloe is the best on the planet. Not begging you anything, it's free information we're giving you. Gotta get on products, guys. Got to get on them products to get back your vitality. So what we do at Deling's Wellness is help you to coin meal plans to suit your situation. Because one size don't fit all. Get that? And inside of coining that, we also show you cutting edge supplements with Herbalife to augment. What augment mean? If you play a C, E, G, that is C major. If you take the G and put a finger upon A flat, you get C augmented. Augment means to help. That's what the supplements do. They help your meal that you can be the best you. Give us a call. Let's help you through your situation that you can live your best life. I promise that this would be under an hour. It's now 58 minutes and we are done, guys. Give us a call. 876-336-9052. 876-342-0935. 876-430-6670. Call us. Let's help you. We want you to live your best life. Have a good day, guys. God bless.